Sir, the state GSDP rose from 4,51,580 crores in 2013 and 14, first year of formation of Telangana. Sir, I am repeating, 4,51,580 crores, first year of formation of Telangana, to rupees 14,63,960 crores in the year 23-24, current prices. Sir, going further ahead, similarly the per capita income of the state rose from 1,12,162 in 2013 and 14 to from 1,12,162 in 2013 and 14 to 3,47,299 in the year 23-24. If I am wrong, I may be corrected. Sir, if the state economy was badly run and the state finances were mismanaged, then how do you explain the progress of Telangana in the last 10 years? How do you explain it, sir? So I am not coming for a rescue of the BRS party, sir. No, not at all, sir. Sir, I am bringing these figures and giving this message to the investors who are interested to come in the state that our state is progressing, our state's health is very good, you can come, you can invest. But if we are going to just for political gains, target, and just say that, yeah, that's a state is in a bad state is in a very bad financial state, then how the investors would be coming? Sir, when I say this, sir, I am so saddened. I had seen a picture in which I saw that Honorable Chief Minister Saab was handing over the budget ka jo bag hota hai, basta hota hai. He was handing it over to Bhatti Saab. Bhatti Saab was there, ministers were there. Good. But I'm sure that Honorable Chief Minister Saab also might be part of the preparation of the budget. But I'm so surprised, sir. I'm so surprised when I spoke about the foreign investment or any investors coming. Sir, Honorable Chief Minister, Mr. Revant Reddy Saab, I think in one or two occasions, my learned friend, my colleague, my Minister Sridhar Babu Saab also was there with him. He had gone to Davos, right? And we have broken all the records. 40,232 crores of investment had come to Telangana. Am I right or wrong, sir? If I am wrong, Honorable Minister can, rise and interrupt me and stop me from this. So to my surprise, sir, and to the surprise of the House, not a single line has been mentioned in the budget. अरे आपका achievement है साहब ये. When I said that क्या I am willing to give you the time. I am willing to give you the time, and a new government requires a time to settle down, to take a decisions. But in no given time, you sign an agreement, you get an investment of 40,000, and that 40,000 doesn't have a place in the budget. So don't you think that this is a height of ignorance? Don't you think this needs to be corrected? And I'm saddened. I've been hearing the Congress, I've been hearing the finance minister, I've been hearing so many ministers rebutting and countering. But unfortunately, not a single member from the Congress rose and said that, sir, this is our achievement in such a short time.
Sir, I would like to bring to the notice of honorable member, sir. Sir, in the month of February, where we had the vote on account session, we mentioned this aspect. We mentioned the achievement of this state. And we were very clear, and we thought, and we have put, this is a broad-based, outlook we have presented on behalf of the government here. And in fact, the additional sentence would have made an impact, that is been rightly be taken, but we have already reflected in our earlier presentation of the budget in the February. I would like to bring to the notice of the kind member.
Honorable Panel Speaker, sir, I thank Honorable Minister, Learned Minister for Legislative Affairs for replying to me. But sir, I have a doubt. He said that it was mentioned, it should have been mentioned here also. तो मैं ये जानना चाह रहा हूं, मेरे दिल में ख्याल आ रहा है, हो सकता है कि कई लोगों के दिल में भी ख्याल होगा कि वो सही नहीं था 40,000, इसलिए इस मर्तबा करेक्शन करके नहीं लिखे। ऐसा तो नहीं है ना साहब, नहीं है ना साहब, वो भी सच था और मैं जो बोल रहा हूं ये भी सच है जी। नहीं, मैं देखिए, एक आपका अचीवमेंट है जिसको आप भूल गए, मैं आपके सामने ला रहा हूं। इसको तनकीद की नजर से ना देखें, इसको तामीर की नजर से देखें कि मैं आपको कह रहा हूं कि आपका अचीवमेंट है इन अ शॉर्ट टाइम 40,000 सर, इट हैज ब्रोकन ऑल द रिकॉर्ड्स, सो दिस शुड हैव हैड अ प्लेस इन द बजट. I know it was mentioned in the OTAN account, but many things were mentioned in the OTAN account which has been repeated again in this budget also. So this is a mistake which has been done. So let us admit this mistake and say that yes, we have forgotten, we will correct this and we'll make sure that when the Honorable Finance Minister gives a reply, he will mention this, sir. Sir, if the state economy was badly run or mismanaged, sir, then these answers needs to be given, sir. So secondly, sir, Bhatti Saab complains that the previous government was inflating the figures and presenting unrealistic budget which sorely missed their targets. This also appears to be somewhat self-contradictory, sir, as the first full-fledged budget presented by him also contains unrealistic targets for the receipts and grants allocations and outlays, sir. So the full budget was presented almost 5 months after the vote on account budget was tabled in the House. The CAG provisional account for the year 23-24 financial year indicate that the state total receipts were 2,18,715 crores and the total expenditure was 2,11,854 crores. Honorable Panel Speaker, sir, Bhatti Saab has quoted revised estimate for 23-24 while presenting the 24-25 full budget. Sir, I may recall that the Union Finance Minister, Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman, has presented full-fledged Union budget this month while quoting the provisional account for the year 23-24 financial year. However, Bhatti Saab quotes the revised estimate of receipt of rupees, revised estimate, sir, of rupees 2,26,095 crores and expenditure of rupees 2,31,017 crore for the financial year 23-24, which ends on 31st of March. Sir, if I am wrong, I may be corrected, sir. Sir, if we look at the budget estimate of 24-25, the total receipts are estimated at rupees 2,90,815 crores and the total expenditure is expected to be rupees 2,91,059 crores. The budget estimate for the year 24-25 do not represent a big jump over the revised estimate of 23-24, but they are in fact much higher compared to the actual accounts for the year 2023 and 2024. The only comparative figures in the revised estimate for the year 23-24 as per the Finance Minister Saab and the account for the 23-24 as per the CAG relates to the fiscal deficit or total borrowing which are cited as 49,373 crores by Bhatti Saab and rupees 49,589 crore by the CAG. Bhatti Saab एक बोलते हैं, CAG एक बोलता है, sir. Sir, I may point out, sir, that the previous government has borrowed 38,151 crore during April-November 2023, sir. And in the remaining 4 months of the last financial year from December 23 to March 24, the Congress government has borrowed 11,438 crores. If I am wrong, I may be corrected, sir. Now, between April and July 2024, in the current financial year, the borrowings have reached to 23,680 crores. Incidentally, the finance minister says that since coming to power, the Congress government raised 35,118 crores in the last 8 months. Sir. ये एक है और वो बोलते हैं एक है, sir. There are many inconsistencies and discrepancies in fact and figures that have crept into the 50-page budget speech of the finance minister Saab. So the receipts of the state government in 24-25 have been grossly overestimated. Under revenue receipts, the finance minister Saab has shown the state's share in central taxes as rupees 26,216 crores and central grants in aid as rupees 21,636 crores. That is total central transfers of rupees 47,852 crores. Sir. So now again, Honorable Panel Speaker, sir, however, in 23-24 financial year, the state received only 23,216 crores as share of central taxes and rupees 9,730 crores as grant in aid, totaling to rupees 32,946. Sir, we do not know what is the basis of the finance minister Saab enthusiasm and expecting rupees 21,636 crores as grant in aid in the current year. Here he seems to be so enthusiastic. And a day before, we had a discussion and a debate and also a resolution stating that we are not getting our due share. There we discuss and here we show so much of enthusiasm. तो मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा है कि ये कैसा gap. And if we see what has been collected last year, और अगर आप देखते हैं जो कमी आ रही है, deficit आ रही है, उसको कैसा पूरा करेंगे? I may be wrong, sir, but ये gap कैसा करेंगे, कैसा लाएंगे, पता नहीं. शायद वैसा ही लाने वाले हैं जैसा ओल्ड सिटी में अदानी को दे रहे हैं, तो शायद दे आर हेल्पिंग. शायद अदानी. I might be wrong. I might be wrong. Please do not feel offended. But I'm thinking. I mean, मैं समझ रहा हूँ शायद वो भी collection शायद अदानी कुछ करके देंगे शायद. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. Similarly, the finance minister Saab has quoted ambitious targets for state-owned revenue targets for the year 24-25, including rupees 18,229 crores from stamps and registration, rupees 25,617 crores from state, excise rupees 33,449 crores from value-added tax, 8,478 crores from motor vehicle tax, rupees 715 crores from electricity dues, etc., totaling to rupees 86,518 crores. In 23-24, the state realized a receipt of rupees 72,503 crores from all these state taxes, and the state has to realize rupees 14,015 crores from these taxes in the year 2024 and 25. Bhatti Saab has projected non-tax revenues of rupees 35,208 crores in 2024 and 25 as against the actual non-tax receipt of rupees 23,819 crores in the year 23-24. The state has to realize additional rupees 11,389 crores in the current year, and here is the catch, sir. He has targeted to realize rupees 25,000 crores from auction and sale of government lands and plots in 24-25 as against the receipt of rupees 7,000 crores in the year 23-24. How can the government achieve the ambitious target of realizing an additional 16,678 crores from auction and sale of government lands and plots in the current year, especially when the real estate market is facing a downslide, sir? And I hope that, sir, again I might be wrong, ये जमीन के साथ वो दो बेडरूम के जो फ्लैट्स बनाए थे, जो दिए थे, उसमें कुछ पैसे लेके वो भी न बेचे, मैं उम्मीद करता हूं वो नहीं करेंगे, गरीबों को भरोसा था। अब ये I was listening to Mr. Harish Rao Saab, he was saying 10,000 crores. No sir, it is 16,678 crores. जमीन बेचकर जो पैसे लाएंगे बोल के उम्मीद है हुकूमत को, वो 16,670 करोड़ हैं। I don't know how are they going to do it. Similarly, ambitious targets are fixed for allocation and outlays for different sectors and figures cited in the budget speech and budget documents, which do not match at all, sir. Honorable panel speaker, sir, I have always been debating and saying that the figures should match. The figures should match. But not a single figure is matching, sir. Sir, it's not like others, sir. Sir, me and my team, sir, we sit after the budget is presented for more than 18 to 20 hours, sir. We go into each and every detail, sir. We study, we see. And I'm really surprised, sir. Sir, एक फिगर बजट की स्पीच में रहता, एक जो है सो अंदर किताबों में रहता, एक जो है सो इकोनॉमिक सर्वे में रहता, और एक मिनिस्टर साहब बोलते हैं। So I really don't know which figure should which figure should we take serious or which figures should we follow. फिर बाद में CAG में जाकर देखते हैं तो वहां एक अलग फिगर रहता है। The projected total expenditure in the current year is rupees 2,91,059 crores as against the actual expenditure of rupees 2,11,854 crores in 23-24. Finance Minister Saab has planned an additional expenditure of rupees 79,205 crore in 24-25 compared to 23-24, and we do not know how far this can be achieved, sir. Time will give the answer to this, and I'm willing to give the time. Because we have to give a time, sir. कोई भी एकदम तो नहीं कर सकता है, वक्त देना चाहिए. The BRS government has presented a budget with projected total expenditure of rupees 2,90,296 crores in the year 23-24, but the actual expenditure was only 2,11,854 crores, indicating shortfall of 78,442 crores, sir. These are the figures, sir. These are not my figures, these are figures which are there, sir. Looking at this facts and figures, sir, it is obvious that the finance ministers follow in each other footstep by setting ambitious target and, usko ऊंचा बता देते हैं, high कर देते हैं figures को to suit the government of the day. And it is nothing new, sir. When BRS was also there, they also used to do the same thing. Congress is also doing the same thing, and I am also doing the same thing of criticizing the then government and the today's government and pointing out what is wrong, sir. And I'm going to continue doing that because I am very consistent in my stand, and people have also been very consistent in sending us always at the same position. One might come here, one might go there, but we are always here. Yeah. Sir, going into public debt, sir. I'm happy where I am, sir. I'm happy. Thank you. Sir, going to the state public debt, sir. In this budget speech, the finance minister Saab blames the previous government for pushing the state into debt trap and cite the rise in the state's debt from 75,577 crore at the time of the state formation in June 2014 to rupees 6,71,751 crore by the end of 23-24 financial year, sir. Sir, here I would like to point out, sir. However, the budget document includes the budget in brief and statement of fiscal policy and the FRBM Act show the state outstanding public debt. Sir, FRBM is showing, sir, public debt at 4,01,845 crores at the end of March 2024, sir. Apparently, sir, the finance minister Saab adds the outstanding of the state's public undertakings. Public undertakings, government guarantees with the state's own debt to inflate the total debt figure. Sir, how can this be possible, sir? ये चीज गलत है. This is wrong, absolutely wrong, sir. This is tantamount of the following on their footsteps of the BJP-led central government, sir. हम गवर्नमेंट बीजेपी की गवर्नमेंट को क्रिटिसाइज करते हैं कि ये लोग ऐसा कर रहे हैं बोल के, लेकिन हम खुद भी वैसी कर रहे हैं फिर. And we are also doing the same thing, and at the same time we want to criticize the government of India. And then they say that we are in the debt trap. Sir, the government which has been seeking to restrict Telangana state borrowing and FRBM Act by clubbing the state's borrowing and the loans raised by the state public undertaking, sir, we cannot follow the same yardstick of the central government while calculating the state debt, sir. This is very important. We need to understand this, sir. Moreover, a major complaint of the Congress member while in the opposition was that, which I am witness to it, sir, was that the BRS government was not showing transparency in the state finances and it was hiding facts and figures about the actual state of affairs of state finances. Sir, but now the present regime also seems to be following the same footsteps of the earlier government. The fiscal policy statement under FRBM has to give all the details as required under, sir. Honorable Speaker, sir, it is required under the AP-FRBM Act and the rules frame thereunder adopted by the Telangana government also. These includes a series of forms, including F1, F2, F3, forms D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, D6, D7, D8, D9, D10. However, in the statement of fiscal policy tabled by the present finance minister and his BRS predecessor, full details are not provided in F1, F2, F3 statement as per rules and norms, sir. Why are you not providing? Why are you hiding this, sir? Let it be transparent. Let everyone know. At least let the legislatures know. I hope that this has been taken a note. And you're noting down this. This is very important, sir. However, sir, in the statement of fiscal table F1 and F2, F3 statement as per rules and norms, sir, there are 10 statements, sir. Honorable Speaker, sir, going further ahead, sir, there are 10 statements in D category, sir. D1, D10, but the Telangana government statement of fiscal policy, only D1, D2, D3 and D6 statements are provided, while the remaining 6 statements are missing, thereby omitting crucial fiscal data such as D4. You know, sir, what is D4? The D4 is the guarantees given by the government. D5 is outstanding risk, outstanding weighted guarantees. D7 statement of assets, and D8 is tax revenues raised but not realized. D9 statement of liability of major works and unpaid bills on works and supplies. D10 is a statement of number of employees in government, state, public sector and aided institution and expenditure on salaries and pensions. So these are the details which needs to be provided. Why aren't you providing these details? Why are you not tabling it? What is there to hide? Why are you hiding it, sir? So we, through you, Honorable Speaker, sir, me and my party would request Bhatti Saab to table a revised statement of fiscal policy in the House before the appropriation bill is introduced, furnish all the required details as per FRBM Act and rules, including D, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10 statements, sir. Sir, in the absence, Honorable Speaker, sir, in the absence of D10 statement of fiscal policy tabled in the House, we had to go to the appendix of the budget estimate, volume 8, 2 relating to employee strength of the government, sir. इतना मुश्किल हुई साहब, 2 घंटे तो सिर्फ ये देखने में चले गए, वो नहीं था बोलकर. Sir, when I was going through, we had to manually tabulate the employee strength details of 191 government department and wings. 191. The total strength of the government employees as per our tabulation, me and my team, sir, comes to 4,88,614 excluding the employees of urban and local bodies, market committee, universities, public sector undertaking and aided education institution, work charges, wages, contract, outsourcing employees. However, Finance Minister Saab says that there are 3,69,000 government employees and 2.87 lakh pensioners from March 24 onwards, sir. When I was going through all the details, I found it to be 4,88,614. Now I fail to understand. Shall I go with this number or the number mentioned by the Finance Minister, sir? How did he come to that? I need a clarification on that, sir. Sir, about 8,000 government employees are retiring this year from the services in Telangana state, sir. Government need to provide their retirement benefits to them. Now coming to the Congress guarantees and other promises, sir, contained in the manifesto and other implementation of the government, we would like to go into the specifics, sir, one by one, sir. Sir, Bhatti Saab has reiterated the commitment of the Congress government to implement all 6 guarantees given in the party's election manifesto. He says that the Congress government is also committed to fulfill all other manifesto promises in time-bound manner, sir. Sir, I wish him my best of wishes and best of luck, and I would lend all my support for fulfilling this promise, sir. Sir, we may recall that the Congress manifesto contains 6 guarantees with 12 components under the Abhaya Hasta manifesto, including Mahalakshmi with 3 components, Raitu Bharosa with 2 components, Gruha Jyoti 1 component, Indramma Indulu 2 components, Yuva Vikasam 2 component, Chayata with 2 components. Honorable Speaker, sir, going further ahead, sir, I would like to compliment the Congress government. Sir, it is not that I just criticize, sir, I also do compliment. Sir, I would like to compliment the Congress government for implementing 8 out of the 12 components of 6 guarantees, including 2 components free bus transport for women and LPG cylinders at rupees 500 under Mahalakshmi, 1 component each under Gurha Jyoti, 200 unit free electricity and Chayuta Rajiv Aragyashri scheme, sir. Sir, under Mahalakshmi, the promise of providing monthly financial assistance of rupees 2,500 to the woman remains unfulfilled. I hope that this will be fulfilled, this would be also taken care, and the promise will be fulfilled, sir. Under Raitu Bharosa, enhancement financial assistance to farmers and tenant farmers and assistance to agriculture labor are yet to be implemented, but thankfully, budgetary allocation have been made in the state budget now. Similarly, under Indramma Indulu house site and financial assistance to rupees 5 lakhs are to provide to each homeless families, and budgetary allocation has been made for the scheme. Sir, another promise of providing 250 square yards of house sites to all the Telangana movement fighters remain unfulfilled, sir. I hope that this will be fulfilled soon. Sir, under Yuva Vikasam, the government is yet to launch the scheme for providing Vidya Bharosa cards for the opening of Telangana international schools in all mandals. The government is yet to fix the time frame for enhancing the monthly pension of rupees 4,000 for senior citizen, widow, single woman, disabled, BD workers, toddy tappers, weavers, AIDS, malaria, kidney patients, etc. Currently, the Asra pension, now renamed as Chayuta, are paid at the existing rates only. There are delays in disbursement of these pensions to the beneficiaries. We may recall here that the government has invited applications under 5 guarantees except Yuva Vikasam during the Praja Palna program almost 7 months ago. The Finance Minister Saab says that the government received 1.09 crore applications during the Praja Palana program. However, the Praja Palana daily report on the concluding day, 6 January 24, points out that 1,591,636 applications were received for schemes under 5 guarantees and 16,90,278 applications for other schemes, and the total number of applications is 1,25,84,383.